Hi guys, and welcome to the next video in my Which Faction series of videos. Now in this video I'm going to be looking again at the second game in the series. This is the second video I've made on this particular setup. So in the first video I showed you the setup and asked you to comment on which faction you would choose under these circumstances. In this video I'm going to make some response to your comments and show you which faction I chose. And then in the next video, I'll show you how the game played out and eventually finished. So if you've not seen the first video, check out this link here and you can check the video out and come back to this one. Okay, so let's have a look at the comments. The first comment comes from Sir CB1. Sir CB1, thanks for your comment. Now you say witches would be a strong choice, like you said. I would also be tempted to play Swarmlings. So yeah, witches would be strong in this game, obviously because of mainly the round 5 points for forming a town for your foundation of towns in round 5. You're going to get an extra 5 bonus points, and the witches get an inherently with their particular strength, they get an extra 5 bonus points for foundation of a town. So yeah, witches are going to be strong, but you would pick the Swarmlings. To be honest, I'll pick Swarmlings in any game. I think they'll do remotely well. So yeah, Swarmlings, not massively strong faction, to be honest, fairly average faction, but they are stronger on the map balanced, the victory point balanced, or the balance map in the Fire and Ice expansion. They are a lot stronger. So I actually went through a phase where I chose Swarmlings quite a lot. I've got through that phase now, but I kind of played them a lot and really honed my skills in playing that faction. But I kind of went off them. The reason for that was because I found their sort of development line very linear, and I kind of got a bit tired of playing them. And I will play Swarmlings from time to time if I feel the setup is right for them. But yeah, did I pick them in this? We'll find out later on. So you say round 1, grab a priest and slap it on the wind or earth cult. I think you mean the air or earth cult. Yep, so you get the cult bonuses available. Stronghold and plop down another dwelling somewhere and upgrade to a trading post. Yep, that's the standard opening for the Swarmlings, is the stronghold opening. Now round 1 scoring is actually trading posts, which is also very good for the Swarmlings, because with the stronghold they get the bonus of a free trading post, so they can build 2 trading posts in the first round and score well through that. Try to complete a town round 2 and grab the 2 up each cult town tile. Yeah, so one thing about the Swarmlings is they are very capable of forming an early town. Getting some digs in round 2 would be good as well, because it's the dig scoring round and complete a town. Yeah, very possible for the Swarmlings. And you say, oh, I've actually seen the Swarmlings form a town in round 1, actually. They formed a town. They put the 2 dwellings down on the eastern continent and joined those up to form a town in round 1. I've seen that. And they actually finished the game quite well. I can't remember whether they won or not, but maybe they did. I just can't remember. And you say get the 2 steps up each cult town tiles. So you're going to get some cult bonuses for that, obviously. And you want to maintain your strength in the cults, because you're only getting 2 points for that. But getting the early town and getting that town tile is a very popular strategy. So I'd certainly go along with that, as long as you stay strong in the cult. So you want to get a priest income going fairly early so that you can maintain your progress in the cults. And then you say try to set up 2 more towns for round 5. Again, very optimistic. That's 3 towns in round 5, isn't it? By the end of round 5. So pretty optimistic. Probably a bit too optimistic, I think. You'd probably get 1 town in round 5. A blue player will also be a pain for someone else who might want to pick the witches. Yeah, and the witches might be a pain for you too, with their stronghold bonus. I might have gone for dwarves had there been a dwelling bonus in round 6. So yeah, dwarves problem with dwarves is they're grey, and then if this game has witches in it, you've got green and grey, which really do cause each other a lot of trouble on the original map. So yeah, very risky to pick dwarves, even if there was a dwelling bonus in round 6. Also, what's your opinion on the base map versus the rebalanced map that comes with the fire and ice? Do you have a preference, and why? Well, I don't actually have a preference, but yeah, I'll talk about it briefly. This video is not actually supposed to be about that. I will be making another video about all the expansions and talking about them in detail. So yeah, I do have a lot to say about it. But the rebalanced base map came with the Fire and Ice expansion. So there were 2 maps on the Fire and Ice expansion. The new map, and then on the other side, the reverse side of the map, there's the original map again, but with a few hexes sort of moved around so that the factions would be slightly better balanced. I think they'd come under a bit of criticism saying that the factions were not so well balanced in the game, and that that would be the motivation to produce this new map. Now, it's not my opinion that Terra Mystica is unbalanced at all. Of course, Darklings are the strongest faction on the original map, and Fakirs are obviously the weakest, but I don't think it's a problem at all. Just a few victory points, and if you pick the Fakirs, you're going to still beat a novice player who's playing the Darklings, and also the feeling you get from winning with a weaker faction, say the Fakirs, is fantastic. So, and with asymmetric factions, you're going to have a tiny amount of unbalancedness in the game anyway. So I don't necessarily appreciate their motivation for producing this rebalanced base map. But so if it was me, I'd rather that they had just made a completely different map, like the other side of that map. I prefer that kind of approach myself, but we'll talk about more about that in the in the video I make on the expansions. So yeah, so CB1, thanks for your comment. And the second comment, the final comment, comes from Simon Grandel. Thank you, Simon. I would go for the witches. It should be easier to make 3 towns in round 5 with all the coin bonuses. Actually, I think the 6 coin bonus card is actually missing, isn't it? So not that many coin bonuses, and 3 towns in round 5. That is optimistic. I think it's a bit optimistic. 2 towns in round 5, I think, is more realistic. And their stronghold ability could be very useful when you are playing with a cluster scoring bonus. Simon, I completely agree. Yeah, the stronghold ability of the witches is fantastic with that extra scoring tile, because they can, once they've built their stronghold, they can then each round put a dwelling down on any of the green hexes around the board, and of course later on then join that up with shipping. So yeah, that's a good call. So to summarize, I would pick the witches because, so Simon's given 3 reasons. The round 5 scoring bonus, absolutely. Many coin bonuses, well, I don't really agree with that. And then clusters should be easier to establish with their stronghold bonus. Yep, absolutely, totally agree with that. I might also take the cult step bonus card in order to have some extra stalling potential, if that I can get the dig bonus card for round 2. Yes, round 2 is the dig scoring round, so if you can get that dig bonus card for round 2, excellent. So yeah, it might work out. So thank you, Simon, for the comment. Great comment. Now, guys, it's time for me to reveal which faction I actually chose in this game. So if you remember, I was in seat 2, and the human player in seat 1 actually chose halflings. So the faction I chose, now I played it quite safely. I didn't go for the witches, neither did I go for the swarmlings. I actually went for the Darklings. Now the Darklings always going to be a strong faction, and if you're one of the first players to pick, it's difficult to go wrong picking the Darklings. You're less likely to damage your ranking, because if you don't get first, there's a good chance you're going to get second. You're going to be competitive in the game. And then if you get color sandwiched, it's not so bad if you are a Darkling player. So I played it a bit safe. Maybe it was a good idea, maybe not. Then in seat 3, the player chose the Swarmlings. So Sir CB1, this is his favorite faction. Will they do well in this game? We shall see. But once the Swarmlings were chosen, of course, then I didn't feel quite so confident because I have been color sandwiched. Now, as I said, for Darklings, getting color sandwich is not so much of a problem because the Darklings, they have a superior digging ability right from the beginning and can usually sort of work around that. The Swarmlings will be over the other side of the board. They'll be over the sort of the western side of the board, whereas the Darklings like to stick over that eastern continent. So they tend not to really bother each other too much. And the Halflings tend to be over the other side of the board as well. So for that reason, I wasn't too bothered. But the downside of this being the settlements or the cluster scoring tile, I do need to spread across the board at some stage to get those clusters. And if I've got halflings and swarmlings taking up those blue and brown spots and potentially the black spots as well, that is not so good. So that was a bit of a negative, having the cluster scoring. So Darklings not so great for the cluster scoring anyway. So Darklings would be stronger with the edge scoring. So that was a weakness in picking the Darklings. But I was very certain about the round bonuses with the Darklings. You've got round 1 trading post, no problem, because Darklings are going to build your temple in round 1. Round 2 digs, no problem for the Darklings. Round 3 sanctuary stronghold, well, Darklings will build a sanctuary easily in round 3. And then round 4 temple, again, Darklings second temple would be excellent to get some more priest income. And then towns in round 5, no problem. And the final round trading post, not fantastic, but not fantastic for many factions anyway. So yeah, I thought Darklings were a solid faction. It's just that the settlements extra scoring was slightly weaker for the Darklings. Edge scoring would have been very, very strong. And then with Swarmlings being picked, it didn't help me at all. So then the final faction, which was a lot easier for the player in seat 4 because 3 color neighbors had already been chosen. So he went for the Giants. How would he get on with the Giants? Would he win the game? So let me know what you think. And will I win, or will one of the other factions? Are they better placed than myself? Let me know in the comments. And I'll get back to you in the final video of this game and let you know how the game played out and the conclusion. The game has actually finished. So I'm not going to let you know the results now, but I will let you know in the final video. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.